Well, one of Mayor Brandon Johnson's top allies is set to run the Chicago Park District.
35th Ward Alderman Carlos Ramirez Rosa was approved this afternoon. Andrea Medina has more on some of the priorities in the Park District.
The board hereby appoints Carlos Ramirez Rosa as General Superintendent and Chief Executive Officer.
The Board of Commissioners held an emergency meeting at their headquarters on the Southwest Side on Friday and unanimously approved the 35th Ward Alderman as Rosa Escareño's successor to lead the Chicago Park District.
There's going to be some growing, but given the experience I've had as alderman for 10 years, managing a ward office, delivering on big projects, delivering big change, I know that I have those skills that I'm bringing, and I know I have a great team here.
The outgoing superintendent is retiring after serving 3 years in the position. Mayor Brandon Johnson has commended 35th Ward Alderman Carlos Ramirez Rosa as a highly effective leader, expressing his intent to focus on a number of priorities for the Park District.
Public safety, addressing homelessness, capital improvements done in an equitable manner, expanding youth employment and youth programming.
At the meeting, many shared their expectations and what they hope to see under the new leadership.
Enforcement of park codes and the restoration of Gompers Park.
There are fields all over the city that need to be renovated, and renovated soon, so we don't have people injured playing on them.
I appreciate him saying that Ogden Park is at the top of the list as we looking to build a new field house.
Since 2015, Ramirez Rosa has represented the Logan Square, Avondale, and Hermosa neighborhoods, but his time as alderman has been marked by some controversy. The Anti-Defamation League Midwest has expressed opposition to his appointment. In a statement, they say in part, quote, "The mayor has appointed someone with extreme views and a history of open hostility toward the overwhelming majority of Chicago's Jewish community."
I'm committed to addressing anti-Semitism. I'm sorry that the ADL, feels that I have not done enough, but I want to sit down with them.
Once he's able to take on his new position, Ramirez Rosa says he will commit to delivering quality services for all Chicagoans.
We need equitable capital improvement in the Park District.
Ramirez Rosa will start on April 1st, pending final contract approval by the board on March 12th. It will be the mayor's responsibility to select a replacement for the 35th Ward. Reporting on the Southwest Side, Andrea Medina, WGN News.
Northwestern University under the spotlight again as a federal task force prepares to come to campus to investigate allegations of anti-Semitism. The Justice Department's federal task force to combat anti-Semitism has singled out Northwestern as one of 10 universities it's investigating. In a statement, the task force says no one should feel unsafe or unwelcome on campus because of their religion. Northwestern responded saying there is no place for anti-Semitism at Northwestern, and the university is confident in the steps it has taken to address it on campus. Officials say they are reviewing the letter received from the Justice Department.
One of the most wanted Mexican drug lords pleads not guilty to drug trafficking and murder charges in an American court today. Rafael Caro Quintero is accused of orchestrating the brutal murder of a DEA agent in 1985. He was arraigned in a federal court in Brooklyn. Quintero is among the 29 Mexican prisoners extradited yesterday to 8 U.S. cities for drug trafficking and other crimes. The extraditions come as President Trump threatens tariffs and possible military action if Mexican officials don't work to stem the flow of drugs.
New here at 4, an investigation is underway after a body is discovered in a field off of Interstate 65 in Indiana. Police say a cleanup crew working along the interstate found the body around 9:30 this morning. It was near mile marker 231, not far from Crown Point. Indiana State Troopers and detectives say foul play is suspected in this case, at least at this point. The name of the victim is being withheld until family is notified. The Lake County Coroner's Office will be conducting an autopsy.
Less than 8 hours are left in what was promoted as a 24-hour economic blackout. The group called the People's Union USA is behind the effort. It's calling on people not to shop at major retailers or online. That includes Amazon, Walmart, Target, and McDonald's. It says its goal is to show the financial power of everyday Americans.
Not sure if one day is going to make that much of a difference, but I hope it does.
I believe that we need to have some impact to show that the conditions that we're living in right now are not acceptable and that everybody matters.
The blackout is also partly in response to the Trump administration's rollback of DEI initiatives. Several large corporations, including those targeted today, have cut their DEI programs.
Chicago-based Grubhub is laying off 20% of its workforce. That's roughly 500 employees. The layoffs come 2 months after Grubhub was bought by Wonder, a New York-based food delivery startup. Grubhub started 20 years ago here in Chicago. It went public in 2014, and in 2021, an Amsterdam-based company bought it for more than $7 billion. The deal was not profitable for either company. Wonder bought Grubhub in January for $650 million. Grubhub is now headquartered at the Merchandise Mart.
Now the Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois Skycam 9 traffic update.
Well, it is Friday, and you are seeing those high travel times out there for your evening commute on most of your expressways, especially heading out of the city this evening. Also seeing some of that building volume inbound on the Edens as you're approaching the Kennedy Junction. So we've got 2 crashes on the Stevenson that are really slowing you down. So you've got a crash outbound Stevenson at Kedzie. That's off to the shoulder, but seeing that delay. And then also outbound at Route 83, getting reports of 2 lanes blocked there. So really high travel time on the Stevenson this evening. And then you had a crash westbound 8094 past Broadway, also getting a report of a crash near Chase. So that is very slow for you through Northwest Indiana this evening. Here's a look at your travel times right now. So once again, those express lanes were heading inbound. So that's why you are seeing those lighter travel times on the inbound trip. 35 minutes there, 55 to get out to the airport. There's the Eisenhower, very slow for you heading outbound, 1 hour and 10 minutes to get out to 390. The Stevenson is jammed once again because of those 2 crashes, so 1 hour and 20 minutes right now to get out to 355. The Dan Ryan, very heavy for you in both directions. So you're looking at about 45 minutes right now to get out to the Bishop Ford.
All right, Shannon, thank you. Well, still to come here this afternoon. Take a look at this. Live music from the Righteous Brothers and more in the Weekender Report. Dean will have that.
Today begins the holy month of Ramadan for Muslims worldwide.
They'll take part in a ritual of daily fasting from dawn to sunset, then breaking their fast with family and friends around festive meals. For Muslims, it's also a time of increased worship, charity, and good deeds. It always falls on the 9th month of the Islamic calendar with the appearance of the crescent moon. Ramadan is taking place amid upheaval for many Muslims. Palestinians in Gaza are living under a fragile ceasefire that paused a brutal war between Israel and Hamas. And also Syrians will observe their first Ramadan since the Assad dictatorship came to an end. Ramadan ends on March 30th. Well, plenty of comedy, music, and theater to see around town this weekend.
WGN entertainment critic Dean Richards has a couple suggestions for you in his Weekender report.
In music this weekend, find that love and feeling with the Righteous Brothers, Bill Medley and Bucky Hurd at the Des Plaines Theater Saturday. Moody blues legend John Lodge visits the Genesee Theater in Waukegan Saturday. Sunday, it's Leon and the Peoples with their smooth, jazzy, hip-hoppy R&B at the City Winery. And Spanish singing sensation Monica Naranjo takes the stage Saturday at the Rosemont Theater.
Did you ever walk into a store and right away you're like, I should leave, when you get there?
For Laugh superstar stand-up Tom Segura comes to the United Center Saturday night. Adam Ferrara hits the Improv in Schaumburg all weekend long. The Legends of Laughter Tour include Lavelle Crawford, Finesse Mitchell, and many more. See them Saturday at the Erie Crown Theater. And Matt Matthews brings his Bougie on a Budget tour to the Chicago Theater Saturday.
It only takes a taste when you know it's good.
On stage this weekend, Waitress makes its Chicago area premiere at the Paramount Theater in Aurora. The 4-time Tony-nominated musical runs through March 30th. The classic drama Raisin in the Sun comes alive at the Court Theater, now extended through March 23rd. This Sunday, the Joffrey Ballet presents its newest production, Golden Hour, at the Lyric Opera House. And at the Auditorium Theater, it's Ballet Folklorico Saturday and Sunday. Also this weekend, the Monster Jam returns to the Allstate Arena in Rosemont. It's Mardi Gras time with Carnival at Navy Pier Saturday. And take a jump into Lake Michigan. Polar Plunge Chicago benefits Special Olympics Illinois and special children's charities. Take a dip at North Avenue Beach Sunday morning at 10. For more info on things to do for the weekend, for my home video pics and full movie reviews, just scan that QR code that's on your screen with your smartphone, and that'll take you right to a link for more information. Hope you have a great weekend. Dean Richards, WGN News.
And Demetrius is back with the 7-day forecast, and boy, is the weather going to change quickly around here. Stay with us.
And WNBA fans rejoice the next time Caitlin Clark comes to Chicago. It'll be in a much bigger venue. Josh Friedman has all the details on that coming up next in sports. Oh, wait, I can't get into it. The U.S. and Ukraine. No, I can do it. We're supposed to agree on a deal today that could generate billions of dollars for the U.S. and potentially lead to peace. No, I got it. Yeah. Perfect. Okay. Okay. Ready? 3. Well, the U.S. and Ukraine were supposed to agree on a deal today that President Trump said could generate billions of dollars for the U.S. and potentially lead to peace. But that's not what happened. Instead, President Trump and President Zelensky played out their explosive meeting for the world to see. And a couple other key points today. President Trump saying that Putin may have broken deals with other presidents, but he won't break them with him. It's not clear where negotiations to end the war are headed next. On social media, President Trump said it's clear to him that Zelensky is not ready for peace if America is involved. You can watch that full meeting, which is about 10 minutes, on our website, WGNTV.com. I'm Lourdes Duarte, WGN News.
Well, the ball bounces in the same direction for the Bulls.
Spinning their wheels, I think a good phrase for the Bulls at this time of year. After what felt like an interminable January, February flew by, but the Bulls standings-wise are in the same place they've been since the start of the new year. 10th in the East, just good enough, or less bad, I guess, to be in the play-in tournament. And one of the teams chasing them, the 76ers, announcing today All-Star Joel Embiid will miss the remainder of the season with left knee pain. Bulls close out the month tonight at the UC hosting the Raptors. No Vooch, but Jalen Smith expected to return with Ayo a game-time call. Now, the Bulls have won just once in their last 8 games, but that has not stopped Josh Giddey from stuffing the stat sheet. He has 4 straight 20-point double-doubles, joining Luka and Cade Cunningham as the only other guards to do that this season.
I think this is the most comfortable he's probably been in his career. He looks like he knows where his spots are right now. He's getting to them, and he's playing with a lot of confidence. I just love the way he's carrying himself right now. Confidence is big for him. He's making his mind up to get to the rim. He's getting to the rim. He's hitting his threes. He's rebounding like a big. So he's doing everything that we want him to do and what we know he can do. So definitely proud of him for sure.
Speaking of United Center, it'll also play host to a pair of WNBA games for the first time this season. The Sky announcing their matchups, hosting the Indiana Fever. Will be moved from Wintrust to the UC. Has about double the capacity, so more tickets available to watch Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese. June 7th and July 27th are the days of the game, with tickets going on sale March 11th. The Blackhawks left Las Vegas empty-handed last night, but after trailing 5-1 after one, at least they made things eventful. The Hawks scored twice in the second. Colton Dock and Ethan Del Mastro cut the deficit in half after Vegas made it 6-3. The Hawks scored twice again in the third to get within a goal in the final 10 minutes. Their rally, though, would fall short in a 7-5 loss, their 5th in a row.
I think just knowing you had nothing to lose and knowing that we didn't show up to play at all in that first period. So all it takes is just playing free and confident, and then getting on your toes and being engaged into the game. I think we didn't battle and compete to start. Let Raza out to dry, and just didn't feel like we had urgency. And then all we had to do was just start playing and competing the right way, and that's how the game unfolds.
Stay out west, White Sox taking on Mike Trout and the Angels in Tempe. Angels scoring twice off Jonathan Cannon. Then former Cub Jorge Soler taking Jared Schuster deep to left center for the solo shot. In the third, it's 3-0 L.A. Sox would get on the board in the 5th, though. Runners at the corners for Brooks Baldwin. Pokes one through the left side. That's going to drive in a run. Dominic Fletcher trying to go first to third. He is pegged out, though, as the Sox would lose 3-2. Cubs, they tied for the 3rd straight day, 8-8 with the Rangers. And as we are about to turn the calendar to March, we got some buzzer-beating madness last night in Ann Arbor. Namari Burnett's 3 at the horn here, giving Michigan the 2-point win over Rutgers. That kept the Wolverines tied with Michigan State at 14-3 atop the conference. The two play each other in East Lansing, the final game of the regular season, on March 9th. And a big one tonight in Evanston for Northwestern's postseason hopes. The Wildcats host Iowa. Both teams are 6-11, but tied with 2 others for the 12 through 16 seeds in the Big Ten. Only the top 15 can make the conference tournament. Talked to Chris Collins about that yesterday. He wasn't too pleased with the way that shakes out. 18 teams, just 15 make the tournament with the expanded Big Ten. But an opportunity for the Cats to win tonight and get a chance to play postseason basketball.
We shall see. Thank you, Josh.
All right. Well, Hollywood gets ready for their biggest night of the year. We've got an Oscars update for you next. Nothing like a Friday, guys.
Yes, and after this 60-degree Friday forecasted at Midway.
Who said that yesterday about?
Well, yes,
He said it like 3 days ago.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And for those who say, oh, no, well, the official recording at O'Hare, no, the WGN audience, we're Southwest side.
Right, we like
South side.
love
We
the
go
South
with the
side.
Midway.
And it used to be Midway. All right, let's take a look.
There you go.
Let's take a look at how things are across anything to just verify. That's what I say. All right, here we are looking at the wind advisory that's in effect. With this low pressure system moving north of us, we will be looking at strong winds into tonight. So here we go. Expect to see strong winds, and that wind advisory will remain in effect until 9 p.m. 31, your high temperature on Saturday. Sunday, we're up to 38. Monday, we climb to 44. And Tuesday, we're up to 55. Temperatures fall again. A 90% chance for rain to change to snow next Wednesday.
Okay. But you nailed the 60-degree forecast
There you go.
today.
I go home a hero.
A victor.
That's what you are. Yeah.
All right, well, just a few zeros can make all the difference. Coming up at 5, the $81 trillion mistake made by Citigroup.
But first, the Lincoln Park neighborhood shows up to celebrate their favorite CTA employee and wish her a happy retirement.
And does that just...
This is Chicago's very own WGN Evening News at 4.
So Hollywood's biggest night is this Sunday.
The stripper with a heart of gold comedy Honora and the papal succession drama Conclave have the momentum going into Oscars on Sunday. Demi Moore and Timothée Chalamet are in the mix for the Best Actress and Best Actor honors. The Academy Awards CEO is calling out hate speech but urging respect if Carla Sofia Gascon decides to attend. The transgender actor is up for an Oscar but has been surrounded by controversy after offensive old tweets resurfaced. Already, a retirement party for a CTA employee who has greeted commuters for the past 3 decades.
Good afternoon, passengers.
All right, area residents threw the party for Janet Martin. She's known as the mayor of the Armitage Brown Line station for greeting commuters with her warm smile, as you can see there, for 29 years in the Lincoln Park neighborhood. Others also call her the queen of Armitage Avenue.
You know I love you. I know I'm going to miss every last one of you, but you're still going to be in my heart.
Yeah, and by the way, today was designated Janet Martin Day by the Chicago City Council. Congressman Mike Quigley, who you see in that video, also had her years of service and kindness put into the congressional record. Very nice.
Congratulations. Happy
Yeah.
retirement, Ms. Martin. That'll do it for the news at 4 on this Friday.
All right, happy Friday to all of you at home, and we say hello to, look at this, what a treat.
We got
Bang in the
Jackie.
house
Well, thank
today.
you.
Coming
Nice
in on
to
a
see
Friday.
See you too, Ray.
Yeah, you're okay.
Oh, get out of here. All right, let's tell you what's coming
Bye,
up
Jackie.
straight ahead at 5 o'clock. A reaction from both sides of the political aisle after a White House meeting between President Trump and Ukraine's president is cut short over this heated exchange.
Plus, a live update from the far southeast side where police are investigating an officer-involved shooting. What we're learning about events leading up to the incident. The news at 5 is next.
Honor Alpha Yume's memory. Joseph Chuba with no.
Yes, IFB and mic check. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Tonight on the WGN Evening News at 5, police at the scene of an officer-involved shooting in an East Side neighborhood will have the latest in a live report.
The verdict is in for a Plainfield man accused of killing a 6-year-old Palestinian-American boy and wounding his mother.
Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not winning.
I know.
You're not winning this.
And an exchange of tense words during that Oval Office visit between President Trump and Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky.
An early taste of spring moves out as winter's chill returns for the weekend. Demetrius Ivory let you know how cold it'll get. The WGN Evening News at 5 starts right now.
This is Chicago's very own WGN Evening News at 5.
We begin with breaking news out of Will County, where a jury quickly found Joseph Chuba guilty of brutally murdering a 6-year-old boy and stabbing the child's mother. Jurors convicting him of hate crimes.
WGN's Julian Cruz joins us live in Joliet with details. Julian.
Joseph Chuba with no expression on his face as jurors read their unanimous verdict, guilty on all counts. Prosecutors saying that he stabbed a 6-year-old boy in a deadly 2023 attack.
And yet, all I can say is thank you. Thank you to the justice system.
The boy's father, Odai Alpha Yumi, speaking through an interpreter after the verdict, feeling both sorrow and gratitude, he says.
No verdict is going to bring their son back.
community leaders speaking for Hanan Shaheen, the grieving mother of the slain 6-year-old Wadi Al-Fuyami. Shaheen, too overcome with emotion, to attend the post-verdict press conference at the Will County Courthouse.
No court ruling can undo the pain of losing a child to a hate crime.
Jurors finding the landlord, Joseph Chuba, guilty of committing first-degree murder, 2 counts of attempted murder, 2 counts of aggravated battery, and hate crimes. During the trial, Chuba captured on police body cam video after his arrest at the crime scene, his unincorporated Plainfield home, comparing his Palestinian tenants to infested rats. I can't believe all these protest people, Chuba says, supporting the PLO. It's so evil. It's like it's Nazis. Wadi Al-Fuyami's brutal murder and subsequent funeral galvanizing Chicago's Muslim community right at the start of the Israeli-Palestinian war, the tragic death of an innocent 6-year-old boy drawing attention to a surge of hate crimes.
This is one of the worst hate crimes that have been committed in recent memory that targeted an innocent 6-year-old boy.
The 73-year-old said to be suffering from cancer. As for potential jail time, Will County State's Attorney James Glasgow in a written statement says, quote, Chuba is eligible for a mandatory prison sentence of 20 to 60 years to be served at 100% or discretionary life.
This verdict comes as people prepare to mark the first night of Ramadan. Community leaders say they want to honor the boy's memory with a monument in the hopes that something like this will never happen again. The Will County Courthouse, Julian Cruz, WGN News.
More breaking news. This one about a shooting involving a police officer. It happened near Chicago's border with Indiana.
WGN's Emmy Victor is there live with those details now. Emmy?
We are still waiting to learn more information about this officer-involved shooting. At this hour, police say they do not have an update, but I can tell you that crime scene tape is up in several areas as police continue their investigation.
Shots fired by the police, shots fired by the police, 3899 East 112, shots fired by the police, no further force on 8. Clyde, coming on you, gunner.
All of this appears to have unfolded near Eggers Grove, a Cook County forest preserve near the state line. Scanner traffic reveals a male suspect encountered police on the park's trail. The suspect was said to be holding a knife. Audio then reveals shots were fired at the offender, and you can hear someone asking for more officers to arrive shortly after. We are now hearing from the person who says he called 911. He says he was out for a run when a man with a knife approached him.
He was about 30 years old. He seemed incoherent when he was talking with me, and he pulled out a knife and ran at me, so I pulled out mine. I told him I was going to call the police. It was a weird situation all around. Then the police told me to find a main road, and that's when I ended up finding him on the trail, covered in blood. He got shot.
Police have focused much of their investigation inside of the preserve, but there's also crime scene tape up in an alley that separates homes and the park. Now, over the last hour, we have seen several officers going up and down nearby streets. They've been knocking on doors as they tried and piece together what exactly happened here. Neighbors I spoke with today describe this area as a relatively safe and quiet neighborhood. There is a school nearby where all this investigation is taking place, and I did speak with one student who says the school day wasn't impacted. However, we are, of course, still waiting to confirm that with school officials. Back here live, COPA says that they are investigating the shooting. This is standard procedure in cases like this. Reporting near the state line, Emmy Victor, WGN News.
All right, Emmy, thank you. Well, very strong winds giving way to falling temperatures as cold air returns to remind us, hey, it is still winter after all.
Not looking forward to that, but hey, it's March, soon to be.
Why not add snow to this? After all that we've seen there. No. So let's talk about the best part of the day, what we've seen already. 57 degrees, our high temperature there at O'Hare. We got to 60 at Midway earlier today. Powerful winds did come our way. That wind advisory remains in effect until 9 p.m. this evening. It's for the entire viewing area. Here's how things look for us. We're kind of looking at the synoptic look here, the weather patterns, and we find low pressure, which is going to exit off to the east, high pressure, which is going to come in from the west. That will filter in that colder air that's going to settle in for the remainder of the overnight. So expect to see cloud cover. There's rain now to our north, but as this precipitation makes its way here, it's going to be cold enough where it will be snow. And I think a little bit of light snow for us late tonight. No accumulation comes our way. And for Saturday, we're expecting to see generally dry conditions, but much colder. As a matter of fact, our high temperature probably some 20 or 30 degrees colder than today as you look at Saturday.
Well, at least tomorrow will be March.
There you go.
Yeah. All right, Demetrius, thanks so much. Well, shocking moments in the Oval Office today when a shouting match ensued between Presidents Trump and Ukraine's Volodymyr Zelensky regarding the war with Russia.
WGN's Jenna Barnes joins us now with some of the exchange and reaction. Jenna.
Jackie and Ray, Congressman Mike Quigley, who represents Ukrainian Village where we are, says he's never seen anything like that Oval Office exchange that went off the rails. And there's concern tonight about what it means for the U.S. and Ukraine moving forward.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having cards. Right now, you don't. You're playing cards. You're playing cards. You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country. That's back to you. Far more than a lot of people said they should have.
Have you said thank you once? This entire meeting? No, in this entire meeting, have you said thank you?
That's just one exchange between President Donald Trump, Vice President J.D. Vance, and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in a heated 10-minute Oval Office argument that played out in front of news cameras.
This is going to be great television, I will say that.
President Trump then ordering the Ukrainians to leave the White House without signing the minerals deal that brought them there, designed to help the U.S. recoup some of what it spent to aid Ukraine's defense. A scheduled joint press conference canceled. The president posting on his social media platform, he disrespected the United States of America and its cherished Oval Office. He can come back when he's ready for peace.
There's nobody in the world that wants peace more than Ukraine. But peace at what price? That is the question. We can't give away half of Ukraine to Russia just to stop the shooting, because they will just rearm and come back.
Marta Farian is the vice president of the Ukrainian Congress Committee Illinois Division. She calls the meeting hard to watch.
President Zelensky and the whole Ukrainian nation thanked the United States many, many times over and over for all the help that the United States has given to Ukraine. But let's face it, it's Ukrainians that are giving their lives.
Republican Senator Lindsey Graham defending President Trump and Vice President Vance.
I don't know if we can ever do business with Zelensky again. I think most Americans saw a guy that they would not want to go in business with.
But Congressman Mike Quigley, who represents Chicago's Ukrainian Village, sees Trump's handling of the situation differently.
He's questioning the legitimacy of Zelensky, who to me is more like Churchill, and he doesn't question the legitimacy of Putin, who doesn't get elected freely, who kills his rivals, who suppresses dissent.
Quigley has visited Ukraine 4 times since Russia's invasion, and he met with Ukrainian military leaders yesterday in D.C.
We are fundamentally a different country than we were weeks ago, and we're fundamentally less safe. I don't know who our allies are, but I'm certain that our allies don't consider us one.
Governor J.B. Pritzker posting on X this afternoon, President Trump's simpering fealty to Vladimir Putin and Russia is embarrassing and dangerous. Illinois stands with Ukraine, and so should the White House. Many European leaders, including those of Spain, Germany, France, and Poland, have voiced their support for Ukraine after this meeting. One Russian lawmaker, though, called the meeting's outcome brilliant. We're live in Ukrainian Village tonight. Jenna Barnes, WGN News.
And Jenna, President Trump addressed that meeting just minutes ago as he departed the White House.
We had a meeting today, as you know, with President Zelensky, and I would say it didn't work out exactly great from his standpoint. I think he very much overplayed his hand. We're looking for peace.
We're not looking for somebody that's going to sign up a strong power and then not make peace because they feel emboldened.
And he ended by saying he wants immediate peace, which he said Putin has said he'll agree to.
Developing tonight, Pope Francis today suffered a health setback with a breathing crisis that did require oxygen therapy. A spokesman says the Pope suffered a bronchial spasm. Doctors described it as a coughing fit in which he inhaled vomit. It required putting him on a breathing machine. He was not intubated. The 88-year-old Pope has been hospitalized for 2 weeks with respiratory problems that turned into double pneumonia and other complications.
Well, still to come, the changes Republicans want to make to the food safety net, formerly known as food stamps.
DOJ takes aim at the Social Security Administration. A new report reveals how deep the job cuts could go.
Dire warnings from Illinois Democrats tonight about possible cuts to Medicaid, the impact it could have on patients.
This is Chicago's very own WGN Evening News at 5.
The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration is the latest hit with layoffs. Hundreds of weather forecasters and other NOAA employees have been fired. The impacted workers were on probationary status. The affected meteorologists delivered local forecasts in National Weather Service offices across the country.
And the Social Security Administration is also preparing for cuts. The AP reporting 7,000 to 30,000 of the agency's 60,000 employees could be terminated. The cuts, part of the Trump administration's efforts led by Elon Musk to slash the federal workforce. Democratic lawmakers warn the layoffs could hinder the agency's ability to serve the 72.5 million Americans who receive retirement and disability benefits. And Republicans also looking to cut federal spending, setting their sights on SNAP, also known as food stamps.
This week, the House advanced a plan to slash billions from the nutrition program in coming years. Washington correspondent Raquel Martin has the latest as one local food bank braces for changes.
Fridays are now Farmers Market Day at Bread for the City in Washington, D.C.
People aren't able to stretch their dollars as much as they used to.
Tracy Collins, who leads the food program, says lines are growing, even combined with SNAP dollars. She says hundreds of families are struggling to get by.
The prices of groceries have gone up significantly, so stretching their SNAP dollars has become impossible.
Anxiety is setting in at the local food bank. Up the street, Republicans in Congress are eyeing cuts to SNAP in next month's budget. One idea on the table, expand work requirements for able-bodied adults without dependents. By law, SNAP is not available to most adults 18 to 54 if they are not working at least 20 hours per week after 3 months.
What do you think the impact of making it more strict will be?
Most of the folks that we're seeing who are able-bodied, who are unemployed, are looking for work. And when I ask them about their income, they're like, hopefully next month. Finding employment isn't as easy as going out and just saying, oh, I'm going to go get a job today.
This 26-year-old is one of them.
I was homeless, and then I ended up getting housing. Even though I've been working, it's been hard to find a job that is maintainable.
Democrats are promising they'll fight to protect SNAP.
We're attacking the children of rural areas. We're attacking the children of working families.
But Republicans like Missouri Senator Eric Schmidt argue it's being abused.
I think there's a lot of fraud in the system. Those are savings that we can plug into the budget.
SNAP costs taxpayers roughly $110 billion a year and accounts for less than 2% of federal spending. Congress must pass a budget by March 14th. In Washington, Raquel Martin.
All right, we got the warmth, we got the sunshine, but unfortunately we got some real strong winds today.
You know, almost every time that it gets this warm this time of the year, there's trouble that comes our way. In this case, not strong storms or severe storms, but we are going to see a big temperature drop. And, you know, by tomorrow, that coat that you were kind of wondering if you could put away, no, you're going to need it. Trust me. All right, let's take a look at how things are across the area. We see clouds moving very swiftly across the lakeshore. We have generally seen very windy conditions today, and we're expecting for the winds to continue as we continue through much of this evening. Here's where the rain is. It's across portions of western Michigan, central Michigan right now. We have cloud cover, which is to our northwest, and that cloud cover is generally going to continue to move into our area. Now, early this evening, there's going to be that chance to see 7 planets. We'll tell you more about that in, coming up in our next segment, but there is some cloud cover that could kind of impede that, unfortunately. Later this weekend, there may be better chances. All right, so here's how things look on the future outlook. It does show that we can expect to see clouds again for much of the upcoming overnight. The potential for a little bit of snow to pull into our area into late tonight and early tomorrow morning. I don't think accumulation, ground temperatures way too warm for that. And there's just not a lot of moisture that's going to come our way. Snow's out of here by early tomorrow morning. Wind advisory issued by the National Weather Service. It's in effect now. It's set to expire 9 p.m. this evening. We're expecting to see very windy conditions, wind gusts like this. 50 miles per hour at Sycamore, Glen Ellen up to 50 also. Low Indiana 48 and Oswego 47. As you look at today's high temperature in Valparaiso, we got to 61 there. Herscher, 61. We knew that there would be 60s mainly south of I-80. The question was how far north they would go. Kankakee got 60 also. Here's a look at the city of Elgin. We had ice there a couple days ago. Not the case now. Beautiful cloud cover where the cumulus field was just beginning to develop at the end of that time lapse. All right, so here we are taking a look at the sunshine today, 78%. So we're going to end the month of February at 46%, almost normal in terms of cloud cover for this month. And for today, we saw a temperature of 57. The low temperature was 35. Normals for this time of the year, 41 and 26. The record high temperature, 62. We weren't that far away from it, within 5 degrees. That was set back in 2016. The record low temperature is -10 1 year before. It's interesting how a lot of times you get one extreme, you go from one extreme to another in just a year's time. Sunset is 5:41. So O'Hare 57, Midway up to 60, 56 at the lakefront today. We warmed up 10 degrees from yesterday to today there. Herscher, Valparaiso, 61, Deerfield, Crystal Lake, and Winfield, all in areas that climbed only into the mid-50s this afternoon. And as we talk about temperatures, these are your normal temperatures and how quickly we warm up during the month of March. It's one of our fastest warming months, if not the fastest. So we're talking about 41 is typically an average high temperature right around tomorrow, March 1st. But then as you get to March 15th, 47. So right once you get to the Ides of March, if you will, 47 there. Then by the end of March, you're up to 53. And then by the end of April, you're up to 65 degrees. You gain about 12 degrees during the month there. All right, so here's how things are going to be for us across the region. We are finding the sun's going down. We're seeing mostly cloudy conditions. Our current temperature, 55 degrees. Winds out of the west at 25 miles per hour. They are significant, and they will remain significant throughout this entire overnight. They're just going to shift and start to come out of the north, and that's going to pull in that colder air. Current wind speeds like this, 25 mile per hour winds sustained there at O'Hare, 44 mile per hour wind gusts. And earlier today, we saw those powerful winds, which will continue to be powerful. But again, they shift and start to come in from the north. That means that colder air will settle in tonight. 23 degrees, your low temperature tonight. Clouding over, turning sharply colder, certainly late, and the chance for some light snow or some snow flurries late tonight. Tomorrow's high temperature is going to be 31. We're expecting to see some clouds early, and then they're going to thin out, becoming sunny once again and noticeably cooler. And then into Sunday, we're up to about 38. Mostly sunny, seasonably chilly, much lighter winds than recent days. Loving the end of the forecast, I guess. We dry out there. On Monday, we're up to 44. Tuesday, we climb to 55. Wednesday, 45, with temperatures falling during the day, a chance for rain to mix with snow. And Thursday, we're up to 42. So I think some folks mainly south and west of Chicago will be able to see those planets and hopefully send us some pictures to weatherpics at WGNTV.com.
Yeah, be looking forward to that.
Yeah, and hopefully we can show some later tonight.
Oh, Venus is just bright. Yeah.
Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn.
And that's
the other ones you can't really see.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll be looking forward to pictures tonight. All right, time for us to check the roads, and Shannon Halligan is here with traffic.
Yeah, one thing you're seeing right now, a lot of brake lights. You're seeing really high travel times out there this evening. Also dealing with a few different issues that are also slowing you down as well. So you've got a crash inbound Stevenson now near Cass Avenue. You did have an earlier crash heading outbound that really slowed you down. So slow in both directions there. Also, you've got a crash westbound 8094 at Chase Street and a disabled semi 8094 at Central Avenue. So through Northwest Indiana, you are dealing with stop and go traffic. And then a crash eastbound on I-80 past River Road. Really heavy as you're approaching I-55. Here's a look at your travel times right now. On the Kennedy inbound, 50 minutes, outbound an hour to get out to the airport. The Eisenhower, pretty heavy heading outbound, an hour and 5 minutes right now to get out to 390. The Stevenson, really heavy for this hour, so an hour and 15 minutes to get out to 355. Inbound, also slow. On the Dan Ryan, you're looking at about 45 minutes heading out to the Bishop Ford. Also a lot of traffic heading inbound, but it is a Friday.
Happy Friday,
yes.
right?
Sure.
All right, thanks, Shannon. Plenty of big stars, including Bill Murray, Ed Harris, and Woody Harrelson, are in 2 new movies opening in theaters this weekend.
And WGN entertainment critic Dean Richards has his reviews.
Get out of there. Right now. Copy that. A snag. There is no more slack. That's everything I've got. The ship's not drifting. Chris has become an anchor. That's never going to hold.
There are 2 new offerings this weekend when the studios are trying to get you to go see their Oscar-nominated movies and performances. More on that in a minute. Brand new this week is Last Breath, starring Woody Harrelson and Chinese-Canadian actor Simu Liu. It's the story of what happened during a saturation diving accident that took place in 2012. If you're familiar with that real story, then you already know and will be riveted by the end of this movie. It's always a good sign when a recreation can keep your attention. It focuses on 3 divers who are part of a repair team to fix some pipelines at the bottom of the North Sea. Things go wrong with the clock ticking on how much oxygen is available to get out of the mess. From there, the movie plays out pretty much in real time and plays out beautifully. It's well acted, well shot, well told, almost like a documentary. It's a Dean's List B+.
Wait for me before you 2 start hitting each other.
Also new this weekend is the ensemble crime comedy Riff Raff. An all-star cast dominates the story of an unexpected family reunion with the most dysfunctional family that we've seen in a long time. Ed Harris, Gabrielle Union, Jennifer Coolidge, Bill Murray, Pete Davidson, newcomer Miles J. Harvey, and many more, all adding their 2 cents to this project. Watching them flex their individual creative muscles was almost more entertaining than caring about a cohesive story here. Riff Raff was fun to watch, but as far as strict movie making goes, it was a little disposable, a quirky Dean's List B.
This is a conclave, Aldo. It's not a war. It is a war.
Your other alternatives for weekend movie going are the Academy Award nominated films and performances. All of the movies up for Oscars are in theaters or also on one streaming service or another. Do your homework. We'll recap it all on Monday. As always, you can get my weekly movie reviews sent to your phones every week just by texting the word Dean to 97999. Sponsored by Lyric Opera of Chicago, presenting La Boheme on stage March 15th through April 12th. Get tickets at lyricopera.org. Hope you have a great weekend. Dean Richards, WGN News.
Mayor Brandon Johnson announces his new pick to lead the Park District. Just ahead, the concerns voiced by the Anti-Defamation League.
And a new finding could prevent former Chicago alderperson Carrie Austin from facing trial. Next, the medical reason that could keep her case from moving forward.
Illinois expands its earned income tax credit to give low-income earners a break, but many are unaware of this new program. The requirements new at 6 o'clock.
Doctors and elected leaders speaking out today against potential Medicaid cuts.
WGN's Jewel Hillary reports on their concerns.
Ralph Bilarski, who lives in a senior building on the near west side, has his share of medical battles.
Hey, I got to get my gallbladder taken out next month. I got blood clots in my legs.
Ralph says he's in and out of the hospital.
I just got released out of Rush a couple days ago, and they says, you got Medicaid and all of that? I go, yeah.
On Friday morning, Governor J.B. Pritzker, along with several of the state's Democratic congressional leaders, partnered with medical professionals at the UI Health Miles Square Health Center to advocate for saving the country's Medicaid program.
If Medicaid is cut, no state in the country has the money to backfill the billions of dollars in funding. It will be gone, and the consequences will be devastating.
Ralph, who recently got 2 stents costing $97,000, agrees, saying without his Medicaid and Medicare coverage,
that's the end of me, man. I'll be buried.
The push to save the program comes after U.S. House Republicans passed a budget resolution late Tuesday night following pressure from President Trump. The vote is a crucial step toward delivering what the president calls his big, beautiful bill, with $4.5 trillion in tax breaks and $2 trillion in spending cuts, which could include trimming Medicaid.
If all that you do is cut, all that you get is blood.
Republican Congressman Darren LaHood, who represents Illinois' 16th district, which includes Peoria and Rockford, says, I supported this legislation as it serves as the blueprint for extending President Trump's historic tax cuts, securing our southern border, bolstering our military, unleashing American energy, and setting us on a path toward responsible government spending for future generations. The 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act created the best economy in my lifetime, yet many of the important changes made to the tax code expire at the end of this year.
And if you get down to the bottom line of why Trump is doing this, it's to generate a tax break for the wealthiest people in this country.
Along with impacting more than 70 million Medicaid recipients, cuts to the government-funded health care program could affect hospitals and health care systems across the state that employ about 445,000 people.
Hospitals will close. People will lose their jobs.
Reporting on the near west side, I'm Jewel Hillary, WGN News.